All right, let's do the CSS battle. Curves. Gotta love curves. Okay. All right. What I'm seeing is actually, instead of trying to make this ellipse and then do a border, what we could do is make this a border. Yeah, two curved shapes. The hard part, though, is making this middle that color. And I think I actually have an idea for that. I can just do like a box shadow inset um, for one of them to overwrite whatever shows up on the lower one. And then, no, because then that would also overwrite. There's layers here. And that's going to be the trick to this is once I get this side of it done, what I need to do is duplicate it over here, but now the borders are going to all be um, this blue color. We just make them the blue color or transparent or whatever, and then you only get this ellipse showing. So if I can make this over here, I can make this over here as well. I just have to copy shapes. Oh, I don't like curves. What do we have here? Okay. So what I want to do is figure out what the bottom is, what the top is. Can I what the layers are? Because I want both of these borders to show up. So one of these is probably just going to be transparent background, right? And then one of these, yeah, I think a transparent background for the one on top. This one will have an inset box shadow and the blue background. And if we can get the blue background, so okay, we want the blue background to be on the body. We want the HTML to be no background, but just a border. And that will be on the that'll be the transparent. Oh yeah, yeah. If we set no background, it'll be transparent, and what'll happen is it will inherit the background of bubble. I think it'll bubble up. I'm hoping it'll bubble up. All right, let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to get creative elsewhere, but I think it'll be a good start. And then we can't box reflect and then change the border color. So, hmm. So I might have to have like three full elements. But I think that'll work. I think it'll work. Let's just get the first shape going. Once we have that going, I can figure out the rest. So the HTML is going to get a border. It's like 40 pixels solid. And it's going to get this green. Right? Now, we are going to, we can just do a border radius, dash radius. Let's throw on 1 inch. Let's margin. We're probably, I wonder if it's 2 inches. When I margin it, we'll get a better idea because the border radius kind of depends on the dimensions of your object, like a 10 pixel border radius, or let's say you're doing 5 pixels on a little button. Um, that border radius will seem really big on a little button, but on a big button it'll seem kind of small. Um, So the shape of it will depend on what we do with the margin here. So I'm going to end up doing a lot of negative margin on this. I think I'm going to throw a position fixed on everything just to make... No, I don't. Let's just margin it and see. I feel like I'm going to have to do negative margin to move it up, and it's going to be weird. I might... Oh, I might be able to move both of them and just rotate the body. I wonder if that'll work. That would be cool. That would make life really easy. Um, so negative 100 pixels. And let's see. It's top right 100 pixels. We don't need the pixel value actually right now. We can skip that. Right, bottom is gonna be 100. There we go. We're getting closer. I think the body will see how it's shrunk down into, just this blob because it doesn't have room to expand. So we'll have to figure out how to, and then 0 on that. And we're gonna move this much more. 180. Oh, see, it's already looking decent. I'll do a negative margin. We're almost there. Woo! All right, we got to do 60. Oh, it's staying in the same spot. This is bottom 110, 90, 80. Trying to get this bottom, the very bottom point to match up. Let's give this some negative margin. Negative 20, negative 40. That looks a bit better. 90. It's gonna be 85. It looks like. Yeah, and then let's get this. Get it centered. Negative 60. That. All right. Okay. And then we're going to up this negative margin to stretch it up. And then we're going to increase the pixels of the border. And we have a shape. Okay. Now, what I want to do is let's select the body. And we might be able to move it around with a translate and some negative margin to stretch it out, make it overflow. I'm going to try to do that. A lot of times that's just such a battle. I just throw a position fixed on it. But I know if I get better at this, I will... I won't have to use position fixed quite so often. But because of the struggle and the time, I don't. What was I doing? Oh, I know what I was doing. Background. I'm going to see if my background bubbling idea that I learned the other day will in fact work. And it did. Because these selectors, I didn't explain that. I keep meaning to explain that because there's people who ask, like, what are you doing? So this star is select everything. What you can't see here is an HTML and body tag. So I am essentially on... I'm saying I'm selecting the HTML tag with that first star selector, and I'm actually selecting everything. But because I can overwrite what I'm writing in there, or I can unset it, I'm essentially styling the HTML tag, and then later on I'm going to fix things so that the styles I want in it are there, and the ones I want to cascade down to the other tags will follow down, like this border. I want this border on the body tag too, because then we can get this second curve coming down. So these things, and the border radius too, I want all of that to match up on the body. They're going to be common things. So this I could write as HTML, and we get this. And then this guy, because it's nested in there, the body disappeared, but that's because it only has a background of blue now. It's not picking up these inherited properties because it's not a star anymore. This one is essentially the body. So before I was styling this, I was treating it like baddie. Yeah, it's not a baddie. It's a body. There, see our little blob. It came back to us. And then this one's the body. But that's a lot of characters to select both of those. So I can exploit CSS cascade and do this, and look, we're back to the same result. There's some caveats, some difficulties, some challenges that come with this exploit, but overall, yeah, I think it's usually worth it once you get used to it. All right, on this body, let's throw a negative margin on it and see if we can move it around. And it's just expanding its parent, which is kind of what I was afraid of it would do. That's okay. Okay, let's see if we can line height 50 m. Does nothing. Okay. What is it? What was it? Font size? I feel like there's a text property that it's going to give space for, even though there's no text in it, will give space to the element for it. I saw it done. It was actually really clever because they used font size to and relative m units in other things to control the size of things. Like they did m in the HTML tag, and then in the body, what cascaded down got changed because they changed the font size. So those relative units changed, and I just thought that was brilliant. But let's do a position fixed. Let's spell it right. There we go. And it disappeared. That's okay. That's because it doesn't have a size or a shape and is probably up off in that corner now. Padding. We're gonna have to figure out the padding on it, but you know what? That's easy enough. We're gonna do 100 to start. Ooh, hey, there you are. There you be. 80. Beautiful. I like that it's already right there. So we can just move it. Let's move it down. 0. It's going to be negative 60. Negative 50. Interesting. Okay. Let's give this some more padding. I don't care how tall it is, really. You know? Like, it can be huge. Well, maybe I should care because it might throw off our border. All right, let's shift this down. 150. There we go. That looks closer. Just a few more pixels. 154, 155. Oh, 155 looks so nice. Okay, let's see if our inset box shadow will fix this. And then, no, okay. All right, I think I'm gonna have to have two P elements to set. Oh, I gotta do box shadow first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Inset. 10 pixels. 0. Ooh, okay, wrong dimension. 0, and we know it's gonna be more than 10. It's close. It is close. What if we do 0 and a 10? Okay, so it's expanding on all dimensions, so I don't want to expand it. Inset box shadow won't work. Because by the time I cover this, because it's following that curve... Oh, I have an idea. No, it's just moving left to right instead of right to left. I was thinking shrink, but no. Okay, what if we shrink this dimension? I think I'm just, yeah, it's gonna be the same thing no matter what. I can't, can I? 20? If I keep playing with this, expanding that and shrinking, okay, let's go up to 60 and let's jump this up to 30. I mean, it's closer. It's getting closer. I'm having to go bigger and bigger. Is it getting closer or am I just kidding? I think I'm kidding myself. No, that's pretty doggone close. That looks like it's there. Okay, let's throw this on there. It's not quite there. Not there yet. But I mean, it's the same as long as I'm not going into 3 digits. That's 58. Oh, but I'm covering over that. Okay. What we need is this actually to be up here. Oh, but then I have to undo the box shadow. Or I could just make it transparent on the body. Let's make it transparent on the body by... We're gonna do this. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. With how many characters I have in this box shadow, I might as well write a linear gradient for this background. But if I do that, I think what I'll end up is... Actually... okay. There. Okay. And then we can just say dash dash b. I don't know. I'm still thinking. 0. Not showing up. Not showing up. Okay. It's because the body has a blue background that is overriding the yellow that's underneath it on the HTML tag. Okay, linear gradient it is. And then we don't have to fight with all this. All right, you are going to be a linear gradient. We're going to get you. It's going to be 20 pixels. And then we're going to go comma, and we're going to do you. All right, and we're going to do 0. Okay. So this is bubbling up. This background is bubbling up all the way to the canvas element, which is not what we want now that we're doing a linear gradient. And so that's why we have this line here instead of on the element here like I had hoped, and it's like not even showing up on that. The only way to do that, fix that, would be to put a background here, but I'm not sure we will get... Okay. Oh, but, now, okay, all right, I know how to fix that. We're gonna make the second part transparent, and, oh, but then it's overriding. Wow, that is making for a really difficult layer. Oh, because now I don't have a background here. Okay. Okay. There. Okay. We're good. This one's transparent. You are that and then transparent. Why is it still bubbling? It should stay on the HTML element once I put the background there. It is working, right? Let's... Yeah, it's doing something. So what I'm hoping is this upper curve, which is our HTML element, right? I wanted that to be like, if we throw FF in there, it's all blue. It's still bubbling. I would expect it to be contained inside this and not on the canvas element, and it's not. Okay, box shadow didn't work. It might have worked if I thought about it longer. I just want whichever curve that is lower. Okay, so the body tag is the one that's on top. HTML tag is below, because this upper curve should be HTML. This over curve should be the body. If the one below has just a stripe, just a stripe of that beige color, and then the blue coming through, that's what I want. And then the body can just be blue, right? But actually it needs to be transparent with the blue color showing all the way through. Ooh. All right. But the HTML tag's not even getting its background. Did I spell it wrong? Background? No, it's spelled right. This one has a background. That has a background. Linear gradient. Yeah, it's right, because when we throw that on there, it changes. So the gradient is coming through, and it is targeting our HTML and body element, but it's getting overwritten here, so the body element shouldn't be affected. And if we take this and put it at the beginning there, we get our gradient on top. Man. Well, man, well, I wanted to actually bubble it up. I've never done it on purpose before, and most of the time I have a background on the HTML element and the body, and that's supposed to actually prevent it from happening, and that's why I never saw it. But now it is happening. I want it to stop. Oh, good lord. I wish my ideas would just work the first time. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's just take the L. Let's just take the loss here. Put that back in. We have this background on the HTML element. Do I have to write that whole box shadow again? Let's do that so it still works. Now I think with the extra backgrounds in here, it'll work. I'll do a couple P tags for what's over here. Hopefully they inherit everything like this. They should both get the box shadow. I might have to unset it on one. Okay. So it's going to be left, right, negative 50 pixels. Oh, I forgot the inset. Inset. There we go. Let's hide that one. just push it out of the screen. Just get rid of it. All right, and 0, and then we do our blur. 40 pixels. Nope. 20. I do 25. Does it work? No. And 55. Yeah, I have to do. What I'm doing is I'm pulling it out of the sides, but I can have more on the top, and so the bigger it goes and the more I pull off the sides, I think it gets flatter, and so I think that's how this is working. That looks pretty good. Let's throw the beige on there. Man, I should have just followed that through to the end, but I was trying to do it without having the one background down here. But that wasn't going to work, because if I have the blue background without being transparent on the body, it will just cover that box shadow on the HTML element. But if I put the box shadow on the HTML element, it covers the border. So I have this. I want to have that ellipse over there. And I think the best way to do that is to add two. Actually, let's just P, close it, and then close that. You don't need closing tags on these elements. It'll automatically fill in the closing tag, and it renders them out like siblings, I believe. And so you save a few characters by skipping the closing tags. Notice I also got rid of the closing style tag. Don't need it. Not important. All right, our P tag. It's position fixed, so we gotta give it some padding and probably some margin before we see it. I'm going to say padding, let's say 50. Actually, I kind of want it to inherit the padding. Let's see if we can just see it with margin. 0. Yeah, there it is. 100. There we are. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay, let's see where it shows up. We want negative 100, 100. And let's give this even bigger. Bigger! Bigger! Okay. 500. All right. I'm getting closer. Let's move it over a bit. 30, 31. I mean, that looks pretty close. Okay. Now let's hit our plus P. And so this first P is, we have these everything selectors. And so this essentially is HTML, body, and P tags. It's cascading down because we're nesting. This is body because it's nested inside. So everything inside of everything, well, we're stepping down from the HTML tag. That's one step down. And then everything and the p tags, so they're going to inherit all of this because all these styles are going to be applied. And now we're saying p tag, we just want this style, so it ends up, because of the cascade, it overwrites the margins that are here, and so then we get this thing. So it's still picking up the padding, the border radius, the border. It's now picking up this box shadow. And so let's see if we get a second p tag. We're going to say negative. Now this one is picking up this margin. So now we're going to need to, we got to write in the property. That's the second time I've done that. Oh. Okay, it's down there as well. So negative 300 and 100. All right, so it's probably going to be the 131 as well. All right, and then it's not negative 300, 200. All right, and if we turn off the diff, I bet we'll see it doesn't have, let's raise it back up so we can see clearly. So it doesn't have that box shadow because this is the other end of it. It's not the bottom. And so we can do the same masking trick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color here, the color property, because that should change the border color. It will not change the border color because border's already set. If there's no color set on the border or box shadows, if you use the color property, it'll default to whatever the color is. That's the one you normally use for text. And so I was hoping to make that work. I don't need the notification right now. Thank you. Windows, am I right? All right. Let's see. We need to be 210. Ooh. 208. It's somewhere in there. There we go. 209. And it looks like, honestly, this one needs one. Do I need to do 499? Like, really? Yes. Ugh. Okay, I hate these magic numbers sometimes. All right, so I can't do just color and overwrite what the border color is. It would be nice if that worked, but it won't because the colors are already set. It only works if there is no color set on it. So we have to do border color. And we can do transparent. We don't have to use the blue. Why did it only apply to the first P? Oh, I see why, because the second P disappeared. But we have to do the blue. 2 extra characters, but that's okay. We have to do the blue so that it does the masking trick for us still. And there it is. That was a journey. I don't even know how long I spent on that. That was probably way too long. It's too long. I have dishes to do. Probably a resume to write. It's daunting. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Let's hit submit. I'm not changing it. No more exploration tonight. I want to, but I can't. 99.9? Don't say that. And I have to keep working. All right. I'm guessing it's this I right here. Oh, I hate curves. I might leave it at 99.9. Not my, because otherwise I'm gonna have to start playing with these margins a whole lot. No, 120. What's the bottom? That's the bottom. 86. $99.8. Okay, that was worse. Oh, I went too far back. Okay, don't go that far back. Okay. Oh yeah, something else I saw. I wonder. Yeah, you don't need. You do need background. You need it, but on border color you don't need the hash. What happens if I take that out? It breaks everything, and I can get rid of the space with it in there. So, okay, border color, and I saw it on color as well. You don't need the hash. It's weird. That's just weird. All right, maybe it's this line here. Maybe I need this body to be left, right, 51, no, 49. That seems decent. I feel like this eye is off now. I need to adjust my, that's probably why we have 131 on these instead of 139, 9.7. Okay, 130. And let's move you to 130. And let's hit submit. 99.7. I am worse. It is so hard to see. Oh, here. Where the issue lies, I'm not playing with half pixels. It's like I did it, you know? And sometimes it's just not worth spending the time to chase it. I moved the body, I got rid of that line. It looks good. These eyes don't look great. Is that my border radius that needs changing? You know, I just threw a 2 inch in there. That's something I see David do all the time. It seems to work pretty good. No, I looked at that. Oops. 9. Okay, let's give that a shot. Let's move this up. I didn't change anything. All right. Sometimes you need a little bit of a line showing on these. It's weird how this diffing algorithm works. On occasion, having it all black is actually hurting you. I'm moving further away. All right. I wasn't even looking. This eye is off now, so it's like now I'm playing a game of changing all four numbers, you know, back and forth, up and down. I think this might be my last one. Hopefully this gets back to, yeah, I'm not even at 99.9 anymore. You know what? I did it. I could probably play with this another 10 minutes, another 2 minutes, figure it out, but I'm okay with 99.9 on this one. If it were an actual CSS battle, it's worth chasing for the extra points, but no, I think I'll call this one okay. I'm okay with not getting 100%. Let's see what our final character count is. Obviously, probably have to do. I don't even know what else I would do to get the better solution, or to get a perfect solution. Yeah. Sometimes doing something as simple as changing the unit of measurement, putting in cues instead of pixels, and then doing it, it lines up better. But it's just you're chasing numbers. It's semantics at that point. So 259 for this. Yeah, probably not the most elegant, but it's something. Hope you enjoyed that. hope I was clear with the explanation. If not, call me out on it. Let me know. Let me know what you need explained better. I'm learning too, so I'm always happy to learn together.